KLEAN Radio starts now.
Welcome to KLEAN Radio. I'm Andrew, and I'm here with my co-host, Judah.
Hola.
And KLEAN Radio is a show about addiction recovery, and we have a great show tonight with Jennifer Gimenez. We're going to have her come in and talk with us about addiction and recovery and her life with everything from celebrity rehab to a new movie she's doing
Called Chastity Bites.
Yeah, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah, and her feature in Renew magazine.
And a lot about her life in recovery and how she's done that, and also about addiction in general. And as usual, we're taking calls from people in our studio audience who might be having problems with addiction, or might think they might have a problem, or have problems potentially with a family member.
Sounds like a plan. And if you're listening to us on KFWB News Talk 980, our flagship station, or News Talk 760 KFMB in San Diego, or around the world on KLEANradio.com. That's clean with a K, KLEAN radio.com. You know, at the end of our, when the intro to the show, it's like, it says, like, just get done with it. It's like, it's almost like addiction is annoying, when you're in it. It's like it's Groundhog Day of nothing new ever happening. And I think both of us could share about that there's nothing better than the thrills of sobriety.
True. Yeah. No, I think there's a lot of exciting stories in sobriety and recovery, as well as, the sort of the thrilling and sort of notorious stories that go along with addiction. That's what we like to share about it a lot, as well as the positive sides of life once people actually get sober.
I mean, because getting high is boring. I mean, it really is. And I'm not saying that because I'm sober.
You must have gotten high the wrong way.
Well,
you were just a drinker.
Well, in the beginning,
right?
Just a drinker. I was addicted. It's so funny, though,
drink to die drinker.
Drink to die drinker, because you say the same thing, and it's like funny because it's like somehow I've become, it's like I say to people, yeah, I just drank. You never hear like crackheads go, yeah, I just smoke crack.
But because it's crack.
But like somehow I should be apologetic about being addicted to the worst substance.
I still am shocked that there are people that just become alcoholics just with alcohol.
It's a control thing. That's there are a lot. It's a big,
was it fear, you think, that stopped you?
It was here's the thing. It was like I didn't have a lot of money.
Right.
So when you buy alcohol, it's got quality control. You know exactly what you're getting every time you open it up.
Right. So this was a Jewish thing.
Oh, my hair is the anti-Semite. They have a lot of Jewish listeners. They're starting to.
I know. They know I'm married to a Jew. They know I have the Jew pass.
Yes, and that's not the way it works. And
well, I have it from you, right?
Yeah, you do have it from me.
See, there you go.
Not unless you kill me. But so yeah, that was the thing. And I think for me, I was really scared. I was scared to try something and not have it work.
Right.
And so there was the alcohol for me. I hated pot. Potheads.
So you did smoke pot?
Like 10 times. I've never shared with you the reason I stopped smoking pot.
No.
I was watching this movie called How to Make an American Quilt. I was so high one night, and I was so drunk, and it was on TV. When you're at a party and something,
I think that would stop you from doing whatever you were doing
exactly.
when you watched that movie.
And I was so high, I couldn't get up and turn it off.
It's a good thing you weren't with a woman.
Listen to the story.
Okay.
I was so high that I couldn't get up and turn off this movie.
Oh yeah, so you were you were just stuck watching American Quilt.
Right, because every time I tried to get up, I'd fall back down. So after I watched that night, I made a decision never to smoke marijuana again. I've been looking for Winona Ryder to thank her.
Right.
But
the American Quilt intervention.
Yes, and there's about 4 generations of women making a quilt. And
what's the number for people to call if they want to call in?
The number here is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. It's Sunday, and there are a lot of people that are driving home right now. And Sunday night is one of the worst times if things aren't going right. And it's if you're out there or a family member, or there's nothing worse than being the family member of that person that things aren't going well for on a Sunday night, because when you're drinking, when you're in active addiction, Mondays stink.
Right.
And if you're going through a rough time right now, give us a call. It doesn't.
Even Sunday night worrying about Mondays.
Sunday. Oh my God! It was.
Right?
It was really. You know what? The worrying. I mean, I'm sure you could relate. The thoughts. It's like when you remember when you were a kid. You were a smart kid though, so this doesn't apply to you. But to us, not so bright. Let's say I knew I had a test in a week. I wouldn't study for the whole week.
Right.
And I'd say I will cram, but the whole week I kept on thinking, I'm not studying for this test.
Yeah, it's called procrastination.
Right, I would be procrastinating, and there's nothing worse than when you're procrastinating, but you know what's going on. And I think that's the same thing when you know you're done with alcohol, but you're still doing it, or drugs, and it's not working anymore. There's nothing worse.
Yeah.
So if you're out there, the number here is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. Any other thoughts from you before we bring in?
Yeah, if someone's out there and they have help, or they want to get help, but they don't want to call to a live radio station, they can call our treatment center, and that's 888-601-6040. That's 888-601-6040, and you can speak confidentially with a treatment advisor who is available right now.
I'm a little nervous, by the way, about tonight's show because I'm scared to say anything wrong to Jennifer Gimenez. Because
how can you be nervous about a show that has Jennifer on it?
Because her Twitter followers, her tweeties,
she has a lot,
and you do not want to get on the wrath of these people. I've seen like Twitter wars, like 100,000, like Celeb, Rehab, or fans of Blow. The other night, Blow was on, which Jennifer was in, an amazing movie where she played an amazing mother, right? Oh
no,
drug lord's wife. I was close.
You can see you watched the movie.
Yes, I haven't seen Blow in a long time. But
Jennifer saw it right during American Quilt. He switched over.
Yes,
to Blow,
it was exactly at the same time.
So high,
American
he didn't
Quilt
realize
days.
it.
And but the other night it was on, and literally there were hundreds and hundreds of texts going, "Oh my God," So I apologize to all your fans right away because something stupid will come out of my mouth.
Well, Jennifer, welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much.
Let's welcome Jennifer Gimenez, Clean Zone.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really nervous. Like, I grew up.
It's Andrew. He makes people nervous.
I grew up listening to 980. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, like it would, and it's and the quilt thing and the girl stuff. Like, how come you're I love that you're apologizing to my fans and the people on Twitter and Facebook and my website, but you're not apologizing to me in advance.
I just did apologize to you.
No, to people on Twitter.
Because I know you. I don't have to apologize to you.
Oh, wow, really?
Wow. That's what friends are. Friends don't have to apologize for stupid things they might say.
Rule.
Yeah, let me tell you, if you had to apologize to friends, Andrew and I, like every minute would be like, I'm sorry, bro.
Right, we'd have to say something and then apologize. Like every other line.
I'm in awe. Like, every time we go to dinner and I listen to you two, I'm like, is anyone getting offended? I feel bad. Like, codependent me is like, are you okay? Are you okay?
We have like a no.
No, we're allowed to. It's sort of, my mother's Scottish, and so her rule in life is to go around and offend everybody. Yeah. And, Judah's Judah. So.
Yeah. That's just me. And welcome to the show, Jennifer Gimenez.
Thank you for having me, and I'm honored. I have so many people on the East Coast staying up right now, and they have to get up in like 3 hours.
I know our phone lines are blowing
it's only
up
11:10, by the way.
But they go to get up and go to work at like
strippers?
4 or 5 in the morning. No, they're teachers. I think Doc is.
You want to try and get a couple calls in real quick then, because they're coming in fast.
Yeah. Oh, yay.
All right. Why don't we go with on line one? We got Josie from San Diego.
Hey, Josie.
Is it Josie or
actually it's Jose.
Jose.
Hi, Jose.
Sorry about that.
Hola, Jose.
That's if you're drinking,
right? Josie.
Sorry.
Josie's that would be a female, my friend.
Yes. I figured that out.
The old joke. I went to bed with Jose. I woke up with Josie. Sorry.
Or
the other way around.
Yeah.
Not for Judah.
Josie, what can we do for you tonight?
Anyways, my question is this: I'm a 47-year-old male in San Diego, California. I've got a beautiful family, a son, a daughter. A son that he just graduated from UCSD, a 16-year-old daughter. I work for a super big, very famous delivery company. I've been struggling with alcoholism for the last 8 years. I've been through 2 rehabs. I've gotten big legal problems that I've been very lucky. I've been able to get out of them and even keep my job, which I shouldn't have, but I did. And to be honest with you, it's like there's nothing there isn't nothing per se keeping me drinking anymore. As far as like I'm drinking because I want to get away from this, or I'm sad, or blah blah blah. But I can't shake this off.
Right.
I don't know if it's a bad habit.
You're an alcoholic.
Right.
It's beyond a habit. You actually have a compulsion to drink that you can't control.
Yeah, and you can't do it alone.
And
Stop.
Jose, I'm going to tell you what really used to bother me more than anything. that is, I knew I was an alcoholic. I knew it. I couldn't understand, though, what alcoholism was. And, it talks about in the big book, it talks about in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, it says 3 words: cunning, baffling, powerful. And when there's nothing worse than when I couldn't understand why I just couldn't drink 10 drinks. And I mean that. We talk about this on the radio, the phenomenon of craving, Jose. It's like the second it would touch my tongue, I couldn't stop.
You lose freedom of choice at that point.
Yeah.
And you become a slave to it. And I understand that you know it, but understand that it's like it's that's what alcoholism is. It's starting and not being able to stop.
And the obsession of the mind, you just can't stop. I mean, you can't stop thinking about it. And then once you take that drink or drug, the allergy of the body, it's like you cannot stop. You lose freedom of choice, as we were talking about.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Are you able to get back to rehab right now if you wanted to, Jose?
To be honest with you, I'll be honest with you. The reason why, with my company that I work for, they put me in rehab, and I went through, and I was going through a lot of, maybe about 40, 45 random tests that I always passed, okay? Because, obviously I don't use illegal drugs and they don't stay in your system. So when I get tested, of course I'm working. I don't have any alcohol in me. I wanted to go back to rehab, but I couldn't do it because I was still under that contract with them that I had signed.
You had a behavioral contract that you wouldn't drink again or use?
Which expired just this month.
Right.
So my goal is to get back into rehab, but do it through my doctor.
Right. Well, Jose, the most important thing, first of all, is that I understand that finances and work is always important, but alcoholism is the kind of thing you can die from. And it's not that your liver's going to give out tomorrow necessarily, which it might, but, it's more likely that you're going to get in an accident. And that's how most alcoholics die. They get in a fight or they get in an accident, something stupid happens, and when they're intoxicated, and there can be really devastating consequences to that. So, my first thing is that really, the fact that you recognize that you're an alcoholic means that you need to do something about it.
And that you're calling in.
You need to do something about it now.
Also, a lot of with detoxing from alcohol, it's so severe and it's so dangerous
to
do it on your own. Yeah. And until you get into treatment, I would suggest getting into a 12-step program.
Yeah, and certainly also, just going, like you said, seeing your doctor, which is confidential. Your work doesn't have to know about that. And we can certainly help you with that. So why don't you stay on the line, and we'll actually make sure you've got someone to talk to about getting in to see somebody. And thank you for calling. We got a bunch of calls, so I'm going to just kind of roll through them.
And thank you so much.
Best of luck to you.
Yeah, thank you,
good
Jose.
luck. Hey, and give us a call. Give us a
please.
call next week and let us know how it's going. All right. Okay, let's go to our next call. On line 2, we got Donna from South Florida. Hey, Donna, welcome to KLEAN Radio.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Donna?
Hi, Jennifer. I tweet with you. My son, I had him. I'm a psych nurse and substance abuse nurse. I had to put my son in treatment. He's now 25, 3 different times, and he's just got engaged to a girlfriend who didn't go through treatment. And now his other friends are coming back from college, and they're still doing drugs, and I'm worrying about him relapsing. And even though I'm a psych and substance abuse nurse, as a mother, it's kind of different when it's your own child.
Yeah. When you're around people who you love and you're watching, that fear. I've seen my mom, and one of the greatest things that happened to my mom after I got sober was that she got into Al-Anon, and she learned to pray, and she learned to also, realize she's not the cause of it, not the cure of it, and she can't change it. And hopefully your son has a good enough program that he does not fall back into it, although the peer pressures are so severe, especially at 25.
Right.
I also think it's important to note that relapse is part of this illness, and that there is a good chance that he may potentially relapse, and that relapsing
he already has. He's been in 3 rehabs.
But also relapsing isn't complete failure. right? This is a long-term chronic illness that you're going to have to treat over his entire life, or he'll have to treat over his entire life. So it's about, if he does relapse, it's about minimizing that relapse to as short a period of time as possible, and then getting him back into sobriety as quick as possible.
And Jennifer also gave a bit of advice for you, Donna. I got sober when I was 22, Donna, so I could totally identify.
And you never relapsed.
No. I was in rehabs from 18 to 22.
Okay.
But so that would be called one long relapse, and many rehabs in between. But Donna, my parents started to get help for themselves, so that way they would stop taking, like, my emotional terrorism stopped working. So it was like I used to say to my mother, if you don't do this, I'm going to go drink. Finally, one day, my mother said, okay, go.
Right.
Yeah, and also not enabling. Like, my mom does not. She does. She has boundaries, you know. And when we realize that us addicts and alcoholics in recovery or realize that no one's going to play our game anymore, we have to change.
Right.
You know?
So Donna, there is hope. Like I said, there are so many young people's meetings out there. Okay. You know, there is there are conventions for young people, your son's age and younger, that I got to tell you, I've been to them, and they are a lot of fun. Yeah. Okay. So even if he says, oh, well, these people are more fun, I could tell you he's lying.
Yeah. Oh, I know that.
Because at these young people's conventions, they are wild. And people out there that are listening tonight, young people too, fans of Jennifer, there is so much fun to be had in sobriety.
Yeah. And Donna, thank you.
He was at first gung ho. I mean, I hate to tell you, the day after his 21st birthday, he slept over at my house the night before, and I noticed track marks on his arm. So his father had planned a party for him. The very next day, I put him into treatment.
Oh.
Well, good for you. Good for you for setting that line and saying you need to go away. And I really want to thank you for reaching out to me, and us tweeting and stuff and calling in. But I wish you to get into a program that you have, a support team.
You got a lot of fans.
Yeah, Jennifer.
I'm so blessed. Right? I'm so
She's
honored.
Jennifer. I have a lot of fans. Gimenez. And by the way, you're listening to KLEAN Radio. That's KLEAN with a K, KLEAN. KLEAN Radio. You're listening to us on 790 AM and also 760 KFMB. Also via the internet at KLEANradio.com, KLEAN radio.com. You can find us on Facebook at KLEAN Radio. And we're in the studio tonight with the lovely and talented Jennifer. I have a lot of fans, Gimenez. and
the call-in number is?
The call-in number, 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. The last time Jennifer was on the show, it was Jennifer Easy on the Eyes, Gimenez. And since
now
then,
I'm dressed like a guy.
Yeah,
so
you're still, So throughout the show, it's going to be like poker. Or like strip, we're going to lose a piece. It'll lack. Okay,
You only play strip poker because you're like, it's going to be like poker.
No,
like,
if we play strip poker in the studio, it's going to end up being me and Andrew getting naked.
And
people are watching the show. I don't think they want to see us.
Yeah, we're going to lose ratings.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of tweets of people just listening, and I'm just so
They're like, kill Judah.
So, Jennifer, tell us a little bit about what's going on with you. You've been doing so much in the media. You were in Celebrity Rehab. You're in Sober House, right?
Yeah, I was.
And now
I'm on Housewives. My girlfriend's is one of the new Housewives, and I've been on quite a few episodes, and I've been doing a lot of HLN, CNN, and I've been shooting a movie. I was in Us
Chastity
Weekly.
Bites.
Chastity Bites.
Now you're doing work at KLEAN, too.
I'm working at KLEAN, and
it's
just been such an honor and a privilege.
And you owe it all to... I'm joking, Andrew.
And it's funny you were saying that because I was thinking about when you were talking about on a Sunday night and like what it's like, right before, you take that drink and stuff or that drug, and my life is so different. 6 years ago today, I couldn't get high enough or drunk enough. Like it wouldn't shut up, and God willing, next Sunday I'll celebrate 6 years.
Amazing,
I wish we would have.
Amazing.
I'll have to give you a big happy birthday
Thanks,
over the.
Yeah, but 6 years ago, and I don't talk that much about it, but I'm not ashamed of it because it's part of my story, and I really believe that we all have a story to tell, and it's up to us how we tell it. And
that's an amazing point. Because you're right. It's like some people look at their story and they're sad. Some people look at their story and they want to embrace it. And most people that stay sober are the ones like you, like me, like you, Andrew, that like have taken their story and roll with it. Yeah. And they're just like, woo,
But we all do, even if you're not an addict or alcoholic. We all have a story to tell. And 6 years ago, next Sunday, I checked in and I didn't realize that my dealer, I thought I was getting cocaine. I ended up having everything, all like horse tranquilizer, rat poison, heroin, speed. I mean, the whole thing. And I thought I was just buying cocaine.
You would have been on an episode of IDTV.
And they threw me into the psych ward, and I hung myself that night, you know, and it didn't work. And I ended up in a wheelchair, and it's like, life is so different.
Right? It's amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
It's so different today, but I know what this was like. I know when people are out there and
we
they're
have
feeling
almost
that.
our Barbara Walters moment.
And
you're not going to get it.
No, we got a little
bit.
bit.
Cheat.
Hey, you know what? Let's jump.
With Jennifer
We got
Gimenez.
so many calls, and I know a lot of people want to talk to Jennifer. So
them.
let's take line 3. We got Kelly from Flagstaff, Arizona.
Hi, Kelly.
Is she there? Line 3?
Hey,
Hey, Kelly. Welcome to KLEAN Radio.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Yeah.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm calling in because of Jennifer. She tweeted that she was going to be on the show, and it gave me the courage to say that I'm not sure if I'm an alcoholic or not. I don't know what's going on, if I am.
Hi,
what
Kelly.
is going on?
And what's going on? What are you questioning?
Well, okay. I can drink for literally from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, but then I can just not drink for like months. I don't know.
You're a binge drinker.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. That's what they call it. I mean, the point is that you're drinking in excess of amount that's healthy. So, you know, if you're drinking more than 5 drinks at a sitting, it's actually potentially dangerous drinking. So.
And is it affecting your life?
Well,
that's
yes
a yes.
And no. Yes and okay. I just took this huge history exam, and by the way, Jennifer, thanks for telling me good luck. I did well on it.
Yay, I know who you are. Oh my God, yay, you did it.
It's Power Cat 25.
Yay.
I tweet you all the time. She has a lot of fans. I'm telling you.
She
does. That's why her
So-
new nickname is Jennifer. I have a lot of fans, Jimenez.
Oh my God. Okay, so, and you passed it.
Yeah, so I did well because I didn't drink the night before, and I did well. But I'm going to drink tonight, and I know it. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to drink a lot. And I don't know if that's good. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's
I love
Right?
your honesty.
No, I mean,
yeah, right. Go bigger.
The
Your
one thing you'll
honesty is
find out
great.
about alcoholics, Kelly, is that they like to talk about drinking, and they, you know, there's a thrill in it still, even for people that are sober. And you'll find if you ever enter the recovery community with a bunch of sober people that we're always like the loudest group in the restaurant. Yeah. We're the ones that are sitting there talking, being loud,
not
obnoxious,
listening to each other.
right? Not listening to each other. Right?
Yeah,
You
they
know,
do
it's
that a lot.
Part
Kelly.
of the deal. And go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Jennifer.
Just, you know, one of the things I want to tell you, Kelly, is what I've learned through the last few years, and especially like doing the courses with you guys and stuff, is that why am I drinking? Like, and I'm suffering from a spiritual malady, and am I drinking to try to numb the pain or to try to shut the issues up, whatever they may be, from childhood to what's going on current in my life? And I'm not drinking today, but I'm saying like these are the reasons why we drink and we use, you know, and when we can't shut that up, you know, and that feeling, that guilt and remorse that we feel, or that shame or that pain that we're feeling, you know, and it's just all of a sudden you're like, I'm questioning if I'm an alcoholic or a drug addict, you know, and in your case, alcoholic. And, you know, if you're having doubts, I would check it out.
Are you drinking? Are you drinking by yourself tonight, Kelly?
Yeah.
That's like one of the surefire signs that, you know, drinking has become more important than life.
And are you going to watch some depressing movies while you drink?
No,
got
it's
you.
the music, the depressing
Yeah, listen,
music.
just don't watch Say Anything. That was my, like, drinking at home. I would watch Say Anything.
But this is common. We find when people become more and more
She gets
alcoholic, they tend to isolate and they stay at home and
I mean,
they just drink.
I'm a student, so all I do is study, and I drink and study and drink.
Yeah.
Right, but you know what, Kelly? There's so many things you could be doing.
I was
that
going to
are
say that there's
more
so much
exciting.
more
It's like,
in
it's
the
like
world.
get out
Drinking.
there, go on a date, you know, go bowling.
Well,
You're in Flagstaff,
yeah.
Arizona. Go shooting. I don't know. Do something. Not when you're drunk.
Go make a flag.
Yeah, go Gila monster shooting.
No,
else,
there is so much more to life, and whether it's dating, and in my case, it's like learning who I am on a daily basis right now. You know, I'm not in that place. You know, and especially if you're questioning, you know, am I an alcoholic? You got to get to know yourself, you know, and give yourself that opportunity and that chance, and see if you like yourself. You know.
Yeah, I'm having some problems with that. I think I am covering something up, just like you were saying. It's some stuff, there's some issues and things. And I think I'm just trying to numb some things out.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
what we
okay.
do.
And
That's
that's
what we
that's
do.
the first thing.
It's
That's
a big
one
part of it.
Yeah.
You know, we're heading out for a break. You know, thank you so
I
much for
love you,
calling,
Kelly. Thank you
Oh,
for
I
staying
love
in
you too,
contact.
Jennifer. Thank you.
Keep me posted.
Thank you,
Celeb
KLEAN
podcast.
Kelly in
So, like,
Flagstaff,
how you doing?
Arizona.
So we're going to go out for a break in a second. How do people call us, Judah?
They call us at 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. You're listening to
awesome.
KLEAN Radio. We're in the studio tonight with Jennifer Gimenez.
Do you suspect a loved one is abusing drugs? Call KLEAN Treatment Center at 888-601-6040 for a free drug test and consultation. A treatment advisor is available to help you administer the test and answer any questions you may have regarding treatment and more. We are here to help. Call us today at 888-601-6040 or find us online at cleantreatmentcenter.com for your free drug test and the start of a promising future.
Welcome back to KLEAN Radio. If you would like to join in on the discussion or are in need of immediate addiction assistance, call 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. Or go to cleanradio.com. That's clean with a K. Now, back to Andrew and Judah.
Welcome back to KLEAN Radio. We're here with Jennifer Gimenez. I'm Andrew, and with my co-host Judah Friedman.
And you're listening to us on KFWB News Talk 980, and also in San Diego on News Talk 760 KFMB, or on the World Wide Web at cleanradio.com. Talk about Chastity Bites. It's a movie. Jennifer Gimenez will be coming out soon.
Yes, I've been shooting it since December, and we shoot this weekend. You know, it's funny, when I was here last, I was going through so many trials in my life. Like last year, you know, my 5th year into recovery, you know, they say your head, you know, pops out of your butt. But they didn't tell you. I saved it. Yay. But they didn't tell me I was going to start all over. And literally, I lost everything and gained so much more. And I was talking about like, oh, yeah, I'm acting. And people were like, what's your next project? I'm like, I can't talk about it. Like, I didn't even have an agent. Like, I got so many doors shut.
You
in my
literally
face.
couldn't talk about it.
I know. I really couldn't. And then I got an agent. My 3rd audition was Chastity Bites. And a dream come true. I never thought, you know, I never thought that, you know, you can manifest what you want. And again, it's like how you choose to tell your story, and it doesn't mean you have to act. But I'm just saying, like,
Well, no, it's true because
it's so many doors were saying, everyone was saying, no, it can't happen. You're the reality girl now. You're just that sober girl. Like, I'm more than just a sober girl.
the leaps you took last year, and I know you obviously. The leaps you took last year are pretty amazing. I mean, you were in a rough relationship.
Yes.
And I know your fans know about that
Yes.
stuff because you're very open and honest.
I was
about
renting
them.
a couch for $100 a week and wearing $10,000 outfits on red carpets and acting like, you know, and
You had left an abusive relationship, and I'm not going to try for the Barbara Walters moment. Don't worry. And
That's
and you
what we're living for. We haven't had it yet.
Yeah, but Jennifer is like a cheat because Jennifer's
I'm
in
a
touch
cheapie?
with,
Oh, hell no.
she's
Pulling the
a
earrings out.
cheat because she's in touch with her emotions and she could
It'd
cry.
be too easy to
No,
get
it's
her to
not that I cry
Yeah.
on cue. It's just that I feel, you know,
Yes.
and that's
Oh God, I'm gonna get killed for
Right.
this.
no, you might get killed, but you know, and it wasn't just that. Like, and then I got in a car accident. And I totaled my car, and the money I was saving to move out, I had to put into a car, and then I was sleeping, house sitting for someone, and thank God for people like you in my life, because I would call him just hysterically crying, and he is so not emotional, and he'd be like, "Listen," and I'd be like, "No," you know, and I mean, I had to lean on everybody, you know,
And Judah was living in your trunk. So
Yes.
it was
he
right next door.
and he was like,
Yeah.
"Open the trunk, I'm
You had
smoking a
this-
cigarette."
You had
No,
this
but we-
string phone with a can.
We have this saying in the 12 steps: you can't save your face and your butt at the same time, and that's the cleaned up version of
Yeah.
it. But you had decided I got to save my butt.
Yeah, no,
and
I
I don't care how I look.
Yeah.
It's time to save my life. And even that night you walked up to me at Rodeo and you were like, you know, what's going on? Do you have any, know of any work?
Yes.
I mean, really an amazing thing that you just decided, you know, the hell with the way I need help.
And it was like this time last year, I was like, I remember I was cleaning the house. You know, I lived in the big house with the guy, and what I thought that represented was really my issue, you know, and that complete package, you know, and I remember screaming and going, God, like, and if you exist, help me get out of staying stuck. You know, because I was staying stuck and I wasn't happy in my life. And that was something that people were questioning me, like, what about happy? What about fun? I was like, what's that? I don't understand.
Right.
And, you know, in October, I was making an amends to the man I was in the relationship with. And God bless him, because he helped me stay sober. I don't know if I would have stayed sober this long if it wasn't for him. But I know I'm the one doing the work. But we You know, I'm glad about that wheat that they talk about in the program. And I was making amends to him, and I had just moved into the house where I live now, and somebody went in and they took my wallet with my Social Security, driver's license, passport, all the money, credit cards, maxed them all out. And I was like,
it wasn't me.
And you now live in Costa Rica, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I live in Costa Rica, and it's great. No, and I just went, you know what? When I had found out, I was walking into this fancy restaurant, and, you know, people were taking pictures, and I was walking in, and my mom and brother had called saying I was getting all these irregular activities on my credit card. And I just went, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, why me? And it was like that wow moment, you know? And I just went, God, a drink sounds good right now. Like, F it, you know? And I didn't take that drink, and I started telling on myself, and I pushed through. And 2 weeks later, on the same Tuesday that happened, I got the job at KLEAN, which has been such a blessing. It's such a blessing. And I also got the movie on the same day, like, you know, and it's like I wanted to, and I was saying,
a good day, right?
Yeah, it was the greatest day of my life. And, you know,
let's like jump into some calls.
Yeah, let's do it.
So many people that want to talk to you. Let's say we got line
we have
one.
Jennifer, a lot of fans.
I know, that's right. We got the Doc from Connecticut. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Doc! Oh my God, that's my baby! Doc, this is the one that was staying up at the East Coast. Doc!
Hey,
so
Doc.
good to hear you.
Welcome to KLEAN Radio.
Here and very, very cold.
It is cold. Connecticut, it's probably freezing, right?
It's 84.
Yeah, it's actually not that bad, but, you know, I'll complain just to complain. But
so how do you know Jennifer?
Just through Twitterverse.
And Facebook emails only.
Yeah, absolutely. Jen is definitely a savior that goes beyond my monotone voice. That's for sure. But now, you know, I had called in obviously just because I'm a Jen fan. But
how could you not be?
What's that?
How could you not be, Doc?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no way not to be a fan of Jen, but. You know, I was actually calling in to question the sobriety fun versus the drunk fun, and I don't know, man. It's tough. You know, the way I look at it is, I often joke. I spent the first 16 years of my life being sober. And it was wonderful until I hit geometry, and it got really tough after that.
Yeah, geometry is an awful drug.
Oh, God, it was horrendous. I was just like,
I'm right there with you.
Angles and all these the shapes. What are you talking about? But, you know, it gets down to, you know, listening to the show and everything. Actually, what Jen was saying about maybe about a half hour ago, you know, it's the whole, I don't know, of like I get the isolation part and all that kind of stuff, but it's the good times kind of come out when you're drunk.
Yeah, you know, I think there is a bit of that. There is like, you know, some of the best music was recorded high. You know, your record collection wouldn't exist. I think Bill Hicks said, a comedian, you know, if it wasn't for drugs and alcohol. You know, maybe that's true to some extent. But I think, you know, overall, for people that really have a problem with drugs and alcohol, the good times are sort of dwarfed by the bad times. And I liken it often to like opening a door. And, you know, the first few times you open that door and it's just like a wonderful field out when you open the door and it's a paradise. And you think, oh, I'm going to keep opening that door. And then one day you open the door and you get hit on the head with a hammer, right? And then you're like, what was that? And then, you know, you open it and it's a nice day again. You're like, oh, maybe I can go back and do it again. And then eventually it gets to the point where every time you open it up, you get hit on the head with a hammer and you realize, oh, you know, maybe I should stop using. And, you know, there still is always that illusion, that I think even for the people, the hardest core drug addict, that they can go out and maybe they can open that door and it'll be beautiful one more time. You know, there's a romance.
Euphoric recall.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll never forget. I mean, I know exactly what she's talking about. I was walking around Manhattan. I had probably about 90 days sober, and I'm walking around with this guy, Tony. And I look into this bar, and I see 5 women there, and I go, Tony, if only I was drinking. And he goes, if only you were drinking what? I've heard your story. You'd still be going home alone. And And I share that because it's there's no, for me, Doc, there's been no greater experiences than the first things I've done sober.
It also, I will tell you though, Doc, it's like for women especially, like we're so emotional, you know, we're a different DNA than these two guys and these two guys.
Andrew's very emotional.
But no, we're different, you know what I mean? And it's like we hold on to that the traumas in our lives. And I really do believe we're all trauma survivors. And especially for what you and I have shared via email and stuff, it's like you've gone through things, you know, and, you know, again, if you're questioning it, then maybe we take a look at it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get that. I mean, I totally get that. And, you know, there have been times, I mean, I went through, I was dating this guy. He was awesome. I mean, it was going back like 10 years ago, and he was a sober guy, and, you know, he had gone through the program, and he was a recovering addict and everything. And that was probably like, that was the cleanest time of my life. You know, actually, after we had broken up, I had gone through maybe 3 or 4 months just straight. I was like, what's the point of drinking?
Mm-hmm, that was the point.
You know, like that,
right.
that kind of thing. But then I noticed, like, it was almost like it was expectant of me to always be like, what's wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you have a drink?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, like,
it's the disease talking to you, though. That's what that is.
No, that was the family.
Yeah.
Talking to me.
Loosen up or whatever, yeah. It took a while for me to get comfortable in my own skin, and I still am not comfortable on days, and I'm very open about it. I mean, I know you know that.
It takes years.
Yeah.
It takes years upon years, and it's like somebody one time said to me, I mean, I've heard this many times where, you know, it's like you always hear people that are new say, I'm bored.
Yeah.
And somebody one time responded, and this, you know why you're bored? Because you're boring. And no, I'm not saying that to you. I'm not saying, Doc, you're boring. I don't want to.
He's just looking at me. Don't worry, send it to me because he's looking straight in my eye.
I was boring when I first got sober. I was. My idea of a good time.
Yeah. No. And, you know, and we're sensitive, and especially as women, but also, you know, we're very sensitive, you know, and it's learning to not take everything so seriously.
Well, if there's anything, Jen, that you've learned from me, it's there's nothing serious.
I know, which is great.
You know,
but there is a lot of seriousness to you. I know that, and I know what you know what I mean? Like, you do a lot for the world.
Well, there is. I mean, the fact that I stayed up until, I mean, it's 11:45 now on a quote-unquote school night. You know,
quote-unquote.
Like, I mean, my kids are everything to me. You know, it's the worst part in the world, like, to have kids that, you know, that come into school and they're like, you know, you know, I have kids that are, you know, just maybe either in foster care or whatever the case is, you know, because of drug addiction and alcoholism and all, you know, like, and all the stories always start off, and it's almost like my own stories when I'm goofing around with people of, you know, oh, well, this one time when I was drunk, you know, like, every single story starts off with that, and it almost seems like all my students, their stories start off with that, and I have to put on like this almost like this fake face of, oh no, well, you know, there's, you know, problems that people go through and this, that, and the other thing, and yet, like, I'm kind of almost putting up like this double-sided face,
right.
You know, kind of thing to these kids, where, you know, where I'm trying to be like, quote unquote, their savior, so to speak. You know, it's kind of a daunting task.
Doc, we really appreciate you calling in. We got some other calls we want to get to.
I love you
and
so much.
Thank you so much.
I cannot
great
believe
story.
she stayed up. I cannot believe.
Right?
Thank
It's
you.
very cool.
No worries, man. Thanks for taking the time.
And please like us on Facebook.
And tell your friends about our show too. So.
Oh, absolutely.
We're not.
We're shameless.
Sorry.
I can't believe Andrew actually just went there.
And I want more people to know about our show.
And you're listening to KLEAN Radio,
knows.
by the way.
Thank you so much.
You're listening to KLEAN Radio on KFWB News Talk 980, also on 760 KFMB San Diego. Awesome. You could also hear us live on KLEANRadio.com, KLEANRadio.com. When Jennifer Gimenez looks at you and looks at you like you're a shameless promoter.
I know,
joking.
right?
Oh my God.
you know you've gone into
Right?
the abyss.
When was I
of
in Us Weekly?
self-promotion. And
Star Magazine.
Star
Magazine.
I'll be
and-
in OK Magazine with Mickey, my dog, soon. Yeah, I'm not.
I guess
I'm
I'd actually have to lose weight to get into Star Magazine, right?
You're the
Like,
before.
I'm the before.
Don't
That's
worry.
great. Wow. Thanks a lot, Judah. I am the before, though.
So I'm sure you get, you you
I
speak.
was before. Don't worry.
We're in the studio tonight with Jennifer Gimenez. Jennifer Easy on the Eyes, or Jennifer has a lot of fans, Gimenez. And you're right. That you talk a lot about women's issues, and I think that's one of the things that so attracts your loyal fan base is because you're a woman that's honest about what's going on with you.
But a lot of men relate to it too,
Yes.
like the weight issue.
Yes.
And I know that when I was in treatment and then through psychotherapy and analysts and all of this stuff, like there was 4 things that they said. Like if I have, women deal with weight issues, drug addiction, alcoholism, and cutting. Drugs and alcohol, weight, cutting, and sex addiction issues. And if you have those kind of in check, then you're doing okay. So it's not like, okay, because I'm, I don't have a problem because I'm not a drug addict or alcoholic. Like there's many other issues that are going on. Abuse,
Well, life is hard,
Life on life's terms. I mean, I think all of us as individuals all over the world, we're trauma survivors of some sort,
Yeah,
some
absolutely.
sort.
And I think it's very important what you just said. I think it's okay to say life's hard.
It is.
And I think that's
not
why
easy.
that's why we're blessed. Being in a 12-step format and sober. It's like it's sort of like refreshing to go, man, I had a rough day. And when you're drinking, your rough day is that you couldn't get high enough, or you couldn't get drunk enough, or you
couldn't get that dealer or
Right.
that
Right.
alcohol or.
And I think a lot about it is feelings. And
Yeah.
one thing that's universal for all people is that we all share the same set of feelings.
But how do you
So,
it's learning to realize that feelings aren't facts. They come and they go, and also learning to communicate them and say to somebody like, I'm uncomfortable because like for the first year or two I was like, I just want to die. I want to use. I feel ugly. I feel bad. I feel that. And now it's like, I'm really uncomfortable because I'm missing my dad today because he's no longer on this earth. Like, and everything else just kind of falls apart. And it's learning to realize and identify things and learn new terms.
And realize that money isn't going to solve the problems. Like a lot of people think that,
job,
if I have
if I
money,
only
the
had,
guy,
if I
yeah.
only, and I think when
And
you're drinking, when
the
you're
feelings are still the same, whether you have the money or not, or the guy or the whatever.
And if you're not dealing with issues, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. I've been there. I've had it all, and I've had nothing. And that weight when I gained 263 pounds, I'm grateful because it saved my life. It saved my life. It protected me from you and me.
and people like Andrew.
Believe it or
I
not,
know,
we're
you-
like in the final 10 minutes of the show.
I can't
but-
believe it. By the
Let's
way, the
take
number
another
here,
call.
I forgot away. The number here is 888-539-2980. That's
One more call.
888-539-2980. We're in the studio tonight with Easy on the Eyes, Jennifer Gimenez, or Jennifer, I have a lot of fans,
I have
Gimenez.
loyal, great
And I
people
mean, it's
in my
really
life.
cool. I mean, how cool is that? I as a
I
person that
didn't
has
have
no
anybody
fans,
left. I had
Yeah.
no one left
Yeah.
6 years. This time,
Yeah.
6 years ago. And if it wasn't for my girlfriend Brandy and my mom, who have saved my brought me into treatment and told me I needed to get help, I wouldn't have you guys. I wouldn't have the people that are out there in the world, and I wouldn't have a voice. Today it's mind blowing. I'm not crying.
Jennifer,
Not
you've
yet.
done so many things in the addiction world, both, from celebrity rehab and all this stuff. But like, what's the biggest thing you think you've learned from all these different things? I mean,
is that Clean's the best?
is it?
I've learned many lessons.
Yeah.
I've learned many, many lessons throughout the years. And, it wasn't my first time coming in either. I've been trying to get sober for 14 years now. And
You've been to the rodeo.
And yes, I have, and I've been, what was interesting was that I couldn't live and I couldn't die. And I was stayed stuck and again, at that place and I was in hell. And what I have learned, I always used to say, like, I'm in the darkness. I live in the darkness. My life is about the darkness. And if you stay still enough in the darkness, you can start seeing. You see shadows and you see light. Like you start you can see things if you stay still. And I've learned to see again, and I've learned to find a voice. I've learned so many things, and
I think I'm gonna cry.
no, but it's true.
Judah's
Yes,
Barbara
it's
Walters
my
moment.
Barbara Walters moment.
But I have, you know what I mean? And it's people that I don't know on the internet, or it's people
Yeah.
like you, Judah, or you giving me blessings. Like, it's people saying you can keep going. And I have the gift of desperation. You know, I don't want to go back. A lot of people go, oh, you're on the Housewives. How does it feel being, you know, around all that drink? How can you really be sober? And it's like, because I work for my life. I fight for my life on a daily basis.
I think it's also very cool what you're talking about because you're deciding to live life.
Yes,
and I
think
don't
a lot of
people,
back.
I mean, to the people out there listening, and because they're, you know, when we talk about something in the 12 steps called experience, strength, and hope. The experience is your story, the strength is getting sober, and the hope is your life. And your hope, you know, and I'm not here to make you cry, but your living life is hope. And to the people out there, the point in getting sober is living your dreams.
Yeah. And I was on the unemployment line in the beginning of the year. I'm not lying. Like, I wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, there's no shame to it. Like, we go through trials and tribulations. And what I have learned is that I just don't want to go back, and that I have a story. Again, I keep using that, but, you know, there has been many lessons, and I'm allowing myself to be teachable.
What's it like being on all these TV shows that it seems like alcohol is such a big part of?
It's awesome.
That's a great question.
Yeah. I mean, it just seems to me like a lot of like the housewife shows and whatever. It seems like a lot of it is about getting people drunk or watching them drunk. Does it just get edited down to look like that? Or
I think that, you know, I don't see them on a daily basis when they were shooting. I know that, you know, with any TV show or reality shows, you know, they like to glamorize it. I mean, alcohol has always been in the picture in all shows. I mean, for many, many, many generations before us. So, you know, have we seen people, you know, do that? Have I seen people drink? Like, yeah. You know, I'm not here to say they have a problem. You know, it's about identifying it. People go, oh, why don't you help this person or that person? Like, I am here to, you know, I don't preach it. I don't preach, you know, recovery. I'm an example wherever I go, and that's part of the program.
It's attraction. It's not promotion.
It's attraction rather than promotion.
Not like our radio show where we're
you're
promotion.
Throwing it.
Yes, listen to KLEAN Radio. And by the way, give us a call at 888-539-2980, 888-539-2980. We're in the studio tonight with the lovely and talented Jennifer Gimenez. But it actually is a really good question because I'm sure a lot of people, they see the edited down version of the show. And in certain shows, alcohol is extremely, you know, especially with the Housewives shows. A few of them have gone into rehab. People must look at you and go, "Why aren't you helping them?" Thinking, right?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can say, with my experience on the show, I definitely did. You know, I reached out to somebody on that show, and you know, and it's like, again, it's how, you know, people are like, why didn't you ream Kim going off
really
on Brandy? And I'm like, me and Brandy looked at it. I mean, I'm looking at someone very ill. Like, you can't fight crazy, and you can't fight someone sick. It's like, we don't fight.
You said that right.
You know, and I'm powerless.
Right.
Like,
I mean, I still can't deal with Judah.
Yeah, we have to work.
I'm crazy. I'm crazy and I'm sober. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's insane behavior, and I get to turn that over, like, for me. But, you know, I think that it's great that I'm, you know, there's other avenues that are opening up to allowing me to come in, and that, you know, I'm not boring, like what you're talking about. We're not boring people, and we get to live life.
So tell me a little bit more about what's going on in your life. This film sounds really exciting.
This film is coming out. It's a social satire comedy / horror, and I play many different parts of one person, which is great. And the set has been amazing. It's written brilliantly, and I've done really big feature movies, and I would never normally say that unless I meant like this. Lottie Knowles is an amazing writer, and it's like there's every avenue is being like it's great. I mean, really.
When's this film it's in production right now? And
we're filming, and we wrap towards the end of either the end of the weekend or the next week, and
probably be out in about 6 months.
6 months, like around summer, and it's just like the sky's the limit. You know, people are like, "What's next? What do you want for your life?" And I'm like, "I just want to live." Like, you know, I'm not in a relationship. I believe that'll come. I'm getting to know myself on another level, and I have a lot of support, and I have a lot of love, and it's just like learning to walk all over again, you know, especially without, you know, that idea of the guy, and, you know, I don't have that held on a lot for me. You know, I was like, well, I have the guy, don't worry about it. Like, now I'm like, oh, I'm single, and, you know, and I want to get, you know, one day, you know, hopefully I can get married and have kids, but I want to continue working and keep helping people, and being a voice for, you know, recovery in all affairs, like not just drugs and alcohol. You know, I've overcome, you know, weight issues.
You think it's hard for people in recovery to date?
I think dating, I've always said dating in AA is like fishing in Chernobyl.
Yeah, but I don't just date in AA.
Or dating in LA is like fishing in Chernobyl.
No, it's not easy being a single
It's hard,
woman
and it's like
in LA.
it's not easy being a single man in LA.
No,
I'm not.
You're not.
I'm not.
We now
I have
know
a
that
beautiful
Judah has a girlfriend.
And,
Thank God, and she's so lovely.
Yeah, she is she's lovely. And she's got, Jennifer's doing something really nice. My girlfriend's nephew is a 7-year-old kid, and his favorite TV show is Warehouse 13. And one of our future guests, hopefully 2 of the star of that show will be Eddie McClintock, who Jennifer is friends with too.
He's a great guy.
Who loves Eddie. But the star, Allison one of the co-stars, Scagliotti, is my girlfriend's nephew has the biggest crush on this girl. He's 7. And he knows the theme song for Warehouse 13, and Jennifer has graciously, Jennifer, sorry. I'm so excited that you're actually doing this. It's really nice. She's going to bring him down to the set to meet his love, as he calls her. Wow. And we will have make sure he doesn't jump on her. But, yeah, and, I mean, that's amazing. It's really nice that you're doing that. And, do you get hit on a lot on Twitter? That's my question.
I don't get hit on that much. It's
just by Judah.
Just by, yeah, right. I've come up with 1,000 different Twitter names.
Oh my God, that's so scary.
Right? How scary is that? J-Dog.
J to the Uda.
The J.
Let's get back to dating and sobriety.
She just had like a flashback look, like PTSD from that. I don't know what you did.
J to the Uda. It's like I could put my hat on, like, crooked. But we actually have some. Sorry, go ahead, Jennifer.
No, dating and being, single and it's scary, I mean, it's a whole scary thing because it's like, first of all, guys in recovery, it's like, I feel, and it's like, dude, I don't want to know how you feel. Like, you know what I mean? You deal with it with your people. Like, you be the man. Like,
it's funny that you say that because I've said that before. It's like when you get sober, the guy becomes the girl, the girl becomes the guy.
And my sponsor, it's like, really? Like, I don't want to hear about it. Like, I still want to be treated like a lady. Like, I want guys to open doors and
but that's LA, by the way, too. Guys just don't open doors in LA. I mean,
you open doors, which is sweet.
I am, and
Rand in the back is like, I'm willing to open a door.
Yeah.
He's like,
for Jennifer, I will open the door. And we also have some really big news. We're expanding KLEAN Radio into another format with Jennifer Gimenez, and where Jennifer Gimenez will be the star, and I'll just be a little speckle in the room, as Jennifer has her own podcast with KLEAN Radio. And I love you, too. And Andrew just gave me the peace sign. And we're going to be having this amazing show, and I think it's really cool. We'll put this out there to your Twitter fans. That I want you to name and this isn't just about addiction, the show, and recovery. It's about a show that Jennifer wants to do. Jen's podcast. And well, yeah, if your Twitter fans like that, but you're talking about
I'm just saying it because you want people on Twitter and Facebook to name
Jen's
the show
podcast. Yes, both of you are smarter than me, and
it didn't take much.
Well, it's like
it doesn't take much.
30 seconds left.
But yeah, and your fans are gonna kill me. But yes, I'm gonna get like. But yeah, so we're going to be doing this show, and it's going to be for women struggling with it.
It's not just for women.
Right.
We're bringing in different people,
right.
like men.
You guys have
and
really worked this format out.
Yeah, I don't even know why you're putting it out there yet because it's so new. But why not?
Yeah,
game on. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's
I guess
do it.
I'm
That's
supposed to do it now.
The show's going to be Judah and Jennifer just babbling.
Yeah.
The bickering couple. We bicker a lot.
Right? What is up with that? It's like
everybody bickers with me.
Maybe true.
Everybody bickers with the Judah. That's the third part.
I would love to come back on the show soon.
Well, you're going to come back soon, and we're actually running out of time, which I hate to say, but really quickly, Judah, why don't you just give the call out so people know how to reach us and how to listen to the show again or any previous show?
Yes, you could listen to us at KLEANRadio.com. Well, this episode actually will be up on Thursday at KLEANRadio.com. You can find us on Facebook and
watch the video.
You can watch all our old shows. One of them is with just Jennifer and I in the studio for 2 hours. That was great. I found out a lot about you that night. And you can find us at KLEAN Radio on Facebook, KLEAN Radio.
And how do people reach Jennifer?
At Jennifer Gimenez on Twitter, Jennifer Gimenez fan page on Facebook, Jennifer Gimenez on Facebook, and www.jen with 2 N's Gimenez.com.
It's been a great night.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
KLEAN Radio. We'll see y'all next week.
Thank you. Good night.
Do you suspect a loved one is abusing drugs? Call KLEAN Treatment Center at 888-601-6040 for a free drug test and consultation. A treatment advisor is available to help you administer the test and answer any questions you may have regarding treatment and more. We are here to help. Call us today at 888-601-6040 or find us online at cleantreatmentcenter.com for your free drug test and the start of a promising future.